can search for events using Splunk. Then let's just discuss some of the best practices. Then we move on to what to the demo. So time is the most efficient filter, of course. So the first thing I would expect that as a security analyst, if you are looking for a log, the first thing that you should look out for the time frame. When does that occur, so that you can narrow your search to events that are very important. You know, so also specify one or more index value at the beginning, just like you see here. You see, you have to specify. So if you don't specify an index with the search still work, of course, very correct. But the thing is that it's going to take longer time to process data, you know, to bring out the output. So when you, the more detail you specify in your search, the better and the quicker your results, right? So that's why it's like recommended for you to specify an index at the beginning of your search. So include as many search terms as possible. So if you want to find events with errors and SSHD, for example, and 90% of the events include errors, but only 5% include SSHD. Include both value in the search, right? It's very important also to include both value. For example, you are looking for a failed password attempt, right? Don't just look for failed alone. Make sure you also search for password so that you will be able to get a cleaner result, right? So make use of search term as specific as possible. So searching for access deny is always better than searching for deny, because searching for deny, we have other details, and what all you want is access deny. So be specific, be more specific when you are looking, when you are trying to search for details, right? So these are some of the best practices. Also, filter as early as possible. For example, remove duplicate events. So there's also a command for you to like dedupe, for you to remove duplicate events so that you can have the right facts from the events that you're trying to search for. So avoid using wildcard at the beginning or middle of a string. So the best way to use wildcard is to use them at the end of the string, not at the beginning of the string. So because it's going to take long time for you to get your results. So best is put the first specific string, then put your wildcard, not like this. So okay, also when possible, use or instead of wildcard. If you already know if you're familiar with your log parameter, you can use or better than wildcard, right? So okay, let's talk about so this is an example. As you can see, in this case, index is equals to wildcard failed password. In this case, what you are just trying to imply is that you should search for all indexes. You know, you are putting your scope towards all indexes, and you're looking for failed password attempt, right? You're looking for failed password attempt. But if for example, you just want to look for failed password attempt in a Linus log file, you should specify the Linus log file in the index, right? Or your source type. You can include that so that your search is very specific, right? So also in terms of IP, searching for IP, you can search for IP using classless interdomain routing format, or you can search for IP in this format, right? Whatever Splunk you understand what you are trying to look for. You know, also, like I said, so you can also use, so it's not that it's bad for you to use wildcard. If you don't have an idea about the range of field, right, in that log, it's very, very useful to use wildcard. Just as you can see here, I don't know all the, maybe it is access1.log or access2.log, whatever, since access is in the beginning, just bring whatever logs that start with access for me, and you know, and filter for such information, right? So also we can use relational operators, as you can see in on the slide. So one important thing also for us to take note is not these two operand. Most people make mistake, especially when they are using not equal to or not command. And there's a difference between the two, especially if you are using them for your search. So for example, let's take a look at these two examples. For example, you are saying status is not equal to 100. Maybe you are looking at Apache log, for example, and you want to search for all events where the status, the HTTP status is not 200. What do? For example, you can just say status is not equal to 200, right? The result will be, it will return events where status field exists and value in the field does not equal to 200, which is very fine, which is expected. Now, but most times, some I've seen engineers that they want to look for this what they want to look for, but they will be using not status equal to 200. This is quite different. This will give us a wrong data. Why? Because it will give us this information. It will include this, and also it will include all the events where status does not exist. So it will affect, it will include not, it will bring out all the events where status does not exist, and also where status does not equal to 200. So if that is what you are looking for, of course, you will use this command. But if you are just looking for HTTP status not equal to 200, don't use this. This is the best to use, right? So it's something that most people make mistake on. So let's talk about table. In case, for example, you want to ensure that your search result comes out in a table, all you need to do is add a pipe, put the table command, and put the name of the field, just like this. So you can see index is equal to web, source type is equal to this, then put a pipe to say, okay, pass the event, pass it to the table command. So table will it will put your result in a tabular format, right? So that you can see it just as you have it here. So why I'm showing all this is because we are going to see them in our demo. So okay, I think this now. Let me talk about. Okay, so these are also some of the transforming commands used by Splunk. For example, if you want to remove duplicates, you can use the DDoS to sort, maybe to sort your record from ascending to descending. You will use the sort command. We have the stat. If you want to see the statistical results of your data, you use the start. Like I've just talked about table. So if you want to see the first 10 or first 20 results, can you stop? So these are just some of the key terms that we are going to be using for our demo. Also, how do we generate reports for Splunk? Once you have your results here, all you need to do is come to reports on this save as, to see your reports, and you can generate your report. You can generate it in any, maybe in a pie chart or in a bar chart format. Any of these formats goes. And so these are simple, these are examples of Splunk search command that we are going to be seeing. This is how the source, or it's just that it's something that over time you are going to be getting yourself familiarized with. And I've come to discover that different SIEM solutions have their own language, searching language, that you have to understand to make sense of data. So for example, here, this is an example that I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do here is to search for all failed password attempts via port 442 or SSH failed password attempts. As you can see, this is a way to search for information. And we are going to see that very soon. Okay, so let me go to my browser so that I'll